Yes, thank you, Semra. We will resume our positions, slowly rise with us,
everybody.
because no doubt we're about to see a real clinic on display here, because I think Semra described it perfectly. This is now a situation where both players are not assured to be in that knockout stage final.
Yeah, and not to mention as well, the way that the scheduling works here is that we have one game that's on console and one game that's happening on mobile at the same time, which means that actually Mestre and Disco will both be watching this with very keen eyes before their game, because again, like I said, in terms of all of the different kind of workings out here, it could mean anything. I mean, if Saifal Hacker wins this, then it opens the door for Mestre, and if Takaki wins this, it opens the door for Mestre again, and then but if it's a draw, then it opens up the door. There's so many different ways to this, folks. And like I said, I'm very thankful it's not me doing it.
Yes.
Very thankful.
I think we gave it a go a couple of weeks ago, and
we just about got it right on that occasion, but then I think we just waited for our production team to give us the nod on what is the deciding results here.
But either way, final group stage match for both Saifal Hacker 55 and Takaki. The latter from Japan will be in the home strip on the ball now. Of course, the changed away strip will be the other side, and Sanchez can try and find Martinez. That meets a defender, but Mkhitaryan is there, lurking in the box inside the opening 5. It is Henrik Mkhitaryan for Takaki. 1-0 to the man from Japan, who realistically, to assure himself in that final later on, Wes, needs all 3 points.
Absolutely. Again, when we talk about obscure nations calling on one another, I can't remember the last time that I saw somebody from Japan call on an Armenian for their help, but my word, it has happened here today. It was a ricochet, goalkeeper's on the floor, it had to be tucked away. And again, as you said, chances like that fall at a premium at this level of the game. You cannot just let these chances go by. You have to finish them off. And smartly there as well, a tip of the hat there to Takaki to put it in the corner rather than trying to go back across to where there's a bunch of players and bodies to get through. And instead, 5 in-game minutes on the clock here, and Takaki has himself a lead.
Yeah, really smart finish, and you're right, that's type of chance that perhaps a stroke of luck is involved, but once it does land to your feet inside the opposition box, you need to make sure you execute. Takaki did just that, which, well, one way or another will spell the story for the rest of this game. Can Saifal Hacker fashion a response? Berea with a cross towards Martinez! Oh! Yes, he can. There it is, Lautaro Martinez, just 6 in-game minutes later, issues the reply we were looking for.
Bit of fortune in it. You'll see it again here. Again, it's good work down the right-hand side. This part, totally deliberate, totally part of the skill of Saif. It's that tip from the goalkeeper. It's almost an alley-oop to Lautaro Martinez there. You'll see it again here from Sommer. Just tips it, just adjusts the trajectory of it, takes it away from Pavard at the back post, and instead lands into the path of Lautaro Martinez, who just tucks it into the one place that it can only be put into, and that's the back of the net. 1-1.
I didn't get quite a clear view of it on the replay, Wes, but you just have to wonder whether or not Sommer's intervention was maybe hurting the chances of preventing that being a goal. Either way, the goal has come and gone. 1-1 in the opening 15. We expected nothing less here at the FC Inter Club Event Finals. Mkhitaryan here now for Takaki, into the box. Berea, Martinez, dummy, strike, save, and again! In fact, I think it's even off the frame this time, it is.
Huge chance there from Takaki, and again, really good work from him.
Two chances
there, beg your pardon. But the 2 chances there fall by the wayside. Again, though, I will say this about Takaki. From what we know of the result in his game 2, and now seeing how he's playing in game 3, it's almost as though that confidence, that bit of almost that puffing out the chest and bit of bravado to say, yeah, actually, I can do this. And certainly doesn't feel as though he is in awe of Saif Al-Haka at the moment.
Well, Çalhanoğlu has Martinez in the box. Mkhitaryan was the idea. But you're right, after losing his opening group match against Mestre, 2-1 to the Spaniard, Takaki has weathered the storm of Isco, winning 2-1 on that occasion as well. And just had 2 very good chances. Al-Haka, of course, goes without saying, would love to represent his country at the World Finals. Turan with the knock-on. Having a Jordanian representative would mean the world. On the ball now. Saif Al-Haka looking to advance. Darmian, though, stands strong, and that's all he really needed to do. Takaki threads it towards Martinez. Darmian backs off, and is that to his peril? Mkhitaryan's there lurking again. And on the half-hour mark, Wes, one thing I'm intrigued to see is Takaki's utilisation of Mkhitaryan, because he seems to be just popping up in the right areas every time.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's certainly popping up right where he is required.
Good build-up play again. Here is the man with the cross along the floor that time. Very low cross, but intervention was needed. Çalhanoğlu. Not enough power, not nearly enough power there. Martinez just capitalising or trying to, after slow player switching from Saif Al-Haka on the other side. In the end, defended well. And is there attack possibilities here for Saif Al-Haka? Çalhanoğlu just entering a bit of a stalemate here towards the end of the first half. You wonder whether or not there's a bit of a breakthrough, and there's a missed touch there as Mkhitaryan, not for the first time this game, here for Takaki. It's right at the keeper.
That was the chance.
Oh, that was the chance.
That was the chance. That just before half-time, that was such a really good opportunity. It was worked out there by Takaki. Just couldn't find the finish.
Starting to ramp up the pressure as the first half draws to a close here. The ground waits to see the number to be held by the referee's assistant. Just the 1 minute added on. We are past the allotted time. Just a clearance needed here from Saif Al-Haka, and not even that much. The referee's seen enough. 2 goals within the first 15 minutes, Wes. Since then has fizzled and
it's threatened to be another goal. It's Takaki that's really addressing the kind of the attacking questions here. He's made those opportunities. He's had 2 or 3. Hasn't been able to convert the second time I'm asking now. Is that going to play on his mind a little bit?
Well, the side swap for this second half. The kits, of course, remain the same. Saif Al-Haka in the all-white. Takaki in the Inter home strip. Just had a quick glimpse, as you'd expect, Mkhitaryan in that AMF role for Takaki is definitely one to look out for. Saif Al-Haka on the ball with Çalhanoğlu, and Martinez was lurking. Really important intervention inside the box, and recovers quite well in defensive duty as well. Turan to Berea, forces the save. Good save from Sommer, and it's out for a throw.
It's a big opportunity there for Saif to put himself in the driver's seat here, of course. Again, I'm not really sure if a draw is really going to be enough for either one of these two to really solidify, because again it probably more favours Saif as he's ahead in the table, but he'll want to try and box this off.
Head it down! Oh, fully stretched Sommer again is needed to prevent this one nestling in the back of the net.
Oh, the fingertips, the absolute fingertips there of Jan Sommer. Off his own line as well. That could have really been problematic had that dipped over the top of him.
Would have been a great finish really on the half volley. So often you see headers scored on the bounce, but good spell of pressure here for the opening 10 in game of the second half for Saif Al Hakka. Beats his man as well with Cuadrado. Who can he find? Thuram! Oh, he's dragged it wide. He's dragged it wide, and that is a really, really good chance. And often you see Thuram bury those.
You absolutely do. Again, really good work there from Saif. I've seen it so many times where he just stalls putting the ball in and goes on a little bit of a dribble out on that right-hand side. And with that left stick dribbling, can really unseat his opponent. And as we saw there, was able to get the ball into the box. Just couldn't find the right finish.
Well, as we enter the business end of this game, Wes, tactical swaps to be made. We will see where the plan B is for Takaki. Mkhitaryan has had some good spells. We've noted him cropping up on more than one occasion. Is there a plan B here for our Japanese representative here?
Well, I think for Takaki, I think to really kind of give himself the best opportunity of qualifying here, he needs to get that second goal, and he's had the chances to do so. He just hasn't converted.
Oh, that's a ball though. Thuram, can he take it in his stride? The answer is no. But it's interesting, we saw against Mestre, Takaki happy to leave the game late on to use his subs, and oh, Son's almost made a bit of a hash of that one. Did leave it late on against Mestre to utilise his bench. Whether or not he will stick to that same tactic here against Saif Al Hakka in this crucial final group game. Cuadrado for Saif. Cuadrado back heel, back to Barreiro. Oh, that's a venomous strike, but I think Wes, high wide, not very handsome.
Yeah, it was always going wide, and it was always a bit of a chancer there from Saif Al Hakka. But interestingly, the game plan part for me with Takaki is that we're seeing a lot from a lot of the players here today that Marcus Thuram starts the game. We're seeing that a lot from these players, whereas with Takaki, it's a case that Marcus Thuram comes off the bench. So maybe he's thinking that physicality in the latter stage of these games will probably prove to be more profitable, shall we say, in whether a case he can start to get knocked down. You'll see that he's checking out his squad here, and he's looking at all of these different options. You see that Pavard Dumfries coming in at defensive midfield. There's some very interesting ploys here that I think some players at home may be looking at going, is that where you'd want him? And it's like, well, actually, that might be the case. You can see he's brought Klassen on. That seems to be a go-to substitution for him as well, taking off Barella. But crucially, Martinez still on the field. Thuram still on the field. Still players there, still weapons to utilise. It's just the case whether he can get that final touch.
Not for the first time today, I'm going to say I love these types of games. It's fun for us, sitting here, or rather standing here with cold blood, but for these players, they know if a chance falls to them, they have to take it. Saif Al Hakka unsuccessful on that attacking occasion, knocked down by Takaki. Thuram, who you rightly pointed out, Wes, introduced instead of getting the nod in the starting 11 for Takaki. We're approaching the final 20 in-game minutes, and the longer that clock ticks down, the more we might see each chance be pivotal. Thuram with the venomous strike there, right on the 70th minute of the match. This was a stunning strike, and really the only option he had.
Yeah, he didn't have anybody else up with him there. It's a little bit on the break there. Gets the ball forward from Martinez. gets it into Thuram. And like you said, the only real option there was to shoot. Couldn't really turn back. So now he's got a corner with Kalanooglu. Plenty of targets.
Corner routines be very deadly for Inter so far in this club event. And Martinez has tucked it away! It's tucked away by Takaki! It's the goal he was searching for and the one he needed. We said when chances appear, Wes, they have to be taken. Takaki's done so. It's 2-1. And with 20 less than in-game minutes now, Takaki, has he just punched his ticket to the knockout stages later today?
You've got to feel for Saif there. You've got to feel it. It's an element of luck to it, without a doubt. Certainly, it's a good bit of play there to get the ball into that right place. When he gets that ball away with that defender, you can see that Saif's player is running off as if to be, well, I've got control of the ball. The reality is he doesn't. And it's 2 flicks. You can see the power gauges, they're so minute. It's 2 flicks of the controller, and Takaki has himself a 2-1 lead.
It's clinical. There's no other way around it.
You can see now, batten down the hatches.
Defence is the order of the day, and when we speak so often about the depth of this Inter squad, Martinez, when he gets that ball to his feet, the finish, first time, I believe it was outside of his boot, just poked it into the corner. When you have an asset like that, especially if you go on to represent Inter at the World Finals, it can be a really deadly matchup to come up against.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he has a little bit of physicality with him. He has a bit of speed. He has a bit of dribbling. And more importantly, he has a fair amount of finishing. And it is a player that you don't really want to engage with, Lautaro Martinez. But certainly as well, having a running buddy in terms of Marcus Thuram with that physicality and that knockdowns and that ability to bring Lautaro Martinez into play, it's going to be a viable weapon for whoever the representatives are for FC Inter in Tokyo in the summer.
By the end of today, we will have 2 representatives. One for console, which both of these competitors are vying for. One for the mobile platform as well. And Takaki not content with sitting back here. As an attacking phase of play with Lautaro Martinez, just ran the ball out of play though. I think he was trying to beat the man and run down the byline, but just does too much.
Yeah, he just ran out of a little bit of real estate there. And you're quite right. He's just trying to left stick dribble, just try and beat the man so he's able to play that pass in field. Saif, of course, now potentially staring down the barrel of now being under threat. Such is how quickly this table and goals and points can change. It's now Saif who might be under a little bit of pressure there.
Especially with Mestre and Isco elsewhere still to play. 10 in-game minutes to go. You do not want to, if you are Saif Al-Hacker, leave the fate of your competition in someone else's hands. After several weeks of competition, several phases, several stages of this competition to get this far. Leave it in the hands of a stranger. That's definitely not what you want. But Takaki with Çalhanoğlu plays Lautaro Martinez round the corner. Who's he got up with him? Holds the ball up quite smartly. Çalhanoğlu with the dummy, but Mkhitaryan now can bring the ball away. Oh, almost snuck through to Arnautovic, threading the needle. Not quite.
Interestingly as well, if this result does remain like this, it also potentially brings Isco back into play as well. There's so many different ways that this can go.
Thank goodness for the boffins.
Yeah, that's what we are looking to find out, is that where this table will go. Or will we get a last minute equaliser?
Last chance saloon maybe. Cuadrado just did not have the final product. All hands on deck in defence for Takaki. Cuadrado to the byline. Damian for company. Arnautovic blocked. Çalhanoğlu away. Dumfries away. Martinez up in the air, but all of this is ticking time off the clock and he's given the ball away. And where will this go? Will there even be time left?
I don't think there will.
Once Summer kicks this ball, we're into the 6th of 5 added on, headed away by Takaki. And those are the 3 points the man from Japan needed. With his third 2-1 result here in the group stages, where's Takaki?